Could you be accidentally harming your health over a piece of fruit thought to be good for seniors? Sounds far-fetched, right? But the reality is, some very common, very healthy fruits can actually mess with blood pressure, cause sudden blood sugar spikes, or even spark a heart attack or make heart medication useless. And even scarier, you might not notice any clear symptoms right away. You just figure you're a bit tired after eating. You chalk up sleepless nights to stress, or that sharp chest twinge is just from sleeping funny. But then one day, you wake up in the middle of the night, heart pounding erratically. Or one afternoon, after a few bites of ripe mango, your hands start to shake, you feel jittery, and your blood pressure plummets without warning. Nobody imagines fruit could actually do that. But for bodies over 60, when you're on daily medication, when your liver, kidneys, and heart aren't what they used to be, then a single grapefruit, a handful of raisins, or one very ripe banana could be the exact thing that lands you in the hospital. And hardly anyone tells you this. In today's video, I'm going to share 5 fruits that seem healthy but can be surprisingly risky for older folks. Some are probably sitting in your fridge right now. Some you eat daily, believing they help digestion, cleanse your system. But today, you'll learn the truth. If you've ever felt dizzy, sleepless, had acid reflux, or unexplained tiredness, you'll want to stick around till the end. Because maybe, the problem is that very piece of fruit you had for breakfast. Do hit subscribe, as tips like these today may not just help you live healthier, but could even help you dodge an unexpected health scare. All right, let's dive in. Let's look at 5 fruits you should be wary of after 60, especially number 3. First up, and something many eat each morning to detox and lose weight, is a fruit that can dangerously interact with heart medication. Grapefruit. It sounds harmless, but just 1 glass of grapefruit juice can multiply drug levels in your blood, causing sudden blood pressure drops and irregular heartbeat, and you wouldn't know why. Some people took the right medicine, the right dose, yet still suffered a stroke or heart failure. Not because the medicine wasn't working, but because they had a grapefruit every morning. You heard that right. Grapefruit, seen as cleansing, heart healthy, rich in vitamin C, can actually interfere with dozens of medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, osteoporosis, and heart conditions. It doesn't cause a dramatic reaction right after eating, but it messes with how drugs are absorbed and broken down by the liver, causing drug levels in your blood to shoot up 2 to 4 times, quietly leading to sudden low blood pressure, an erratic heartbeat, or internal bleeding. According to the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, over 50 prescription drugs can be affected by grapefruit, including statins, cholesterol lowering, like simvastatin, atorvastatin, blood pressure medications, like felodipine, nifedipine, heart and irregular heartbeat medications, and also certain anti-osteoporosis drugs and psychiatric medications. And get this, the side effects don't come from a whole grapefruit. Just 1 glass of juice can do it. Michael, 74, from Florida, took his blood pressure medicine faithfully each morning. After a few weeks, he started feeling dizzy upon standing, unusually fatigued, or having heart flutters at night. He thought, must be old age. Only when his doctor asked about his diet did he mention grapefruit juice every morning after my workout. The result? His felodipine level was 3 times the safe limit, even though he took the correct dose. What makes grapefruit so sneaky is that it seems so healthy. Nobody would guess a simple fruit could actually interfere with the medication effects. But it's precisely that assumption which quietly leads many into unforeseen complications. You don't have to swear off grapefruit or forever. But if you're on heart, blood pressure, or cholesterol meds, check with your doctor or pharmacist about potential interactions. And if you can, choose another fruit with similar benefits, one that doesn't mess with your liver and its enzymes. A morning grapefruit could be the thing that stops your medicine from working as it should. And at this stage of life, you don't need extra risks from something you thought was healthy. Grapefruit isn't the only fruit that can make your medication less effective. There's another one, soft, sweet, easy to eat. But if it's too ripe, it can make your heart race unexpectedly. That's right, bananas. Someone might have a ripe banana after breakfast. Just an hour later, they find their heart pounding, hands cold and clammy, body shaking as if about to faint. They get checked. Blood sugar is through the roof, even though they don't eat many sweets. It might sound hard to believe since bananas are seen as a safe fruit, easy to digest, good for digestion, packed with potassium and fiber. But the truth is, the riper the banana, the higher its sugar content. And for those over 60, especially if pre-diabetic or at risk for metabolic issues, eating overripe bananas can send blood sugar soaring, then crashing, creating a cycle of dizziness, fatigue, and a racing heart. According to the American Diabetes Association, the glycemic index, GI, of ripe bananas is 1.5 times that of just ripened ones. Green banana, GI around 42, low. Ripe banana, GI around 60 to 65, medium high. Soft ripe banana with brown spots. GI can exceed 70, high. When you eat very ripe bananas, your body absorbs the sugar almost instantly, making the pancreas work overtime to produce insulin. If insulin is insufficient or slow to respond, blood sugar spikes, then drops too low, causing lightheadedness, palpitations, hand tremors, and exhaustion. James, 69, from Texas, ate bananas each morning, thinking they were good for his heart. But he usually ate the soft, very ripe ones because they were sweeter and easier to eat. Within just a few weeks, he started feeling woozy after breakfast, needing to lie down after meals. Testing revealed his doctor found his morning blood sugar levels fluctuated wildly, with peaks after eating bananas. He was advised to switch to moderately ripe bananas, half at a time, eaten with oats or eggs to slow absorption. The result? He felt steady again within just 1 week. The danger isn't the banana itself, but its ripeness and how your body handles it. Older adults might see bananas as harmless, but your body, especially your pancreas and its ability to process sugar, doesn't react as quickly as it used to. You don't have to avoid bananas, but pick ones that are just ripe, not too soft, and without dark brown spots. And ideally, pair them with some protein or healthy fats to slow down sugar absorption. A soft, ripe banana can leave you dizzy and shaky, not due to old age, but because your blood sugar is on a roller coaster. And that all starts with something you thought was healthy eating. Overripe bananas already send blood sugar soaring, but there's something else, smaller, sweeter, and often deemed good for digestion, and that's raisins. You're cutting back on sweets, avoiding fizzy drinks, yet your blood sugar stays high. The weight isn't budging. And the culprit might just be that tiny handful of raisins you snack on daily, thinking they're healthy. Raisins sound wholesome, fat-free, no added sugar, high in fiber. But don't forget, they're concentrated fruit. And when the water is removed, the sugar inside becomes so dense that just a small handful packs the sugar of a whole soda can. You eat a little, but your body gets a lot of sugar. And for folks over 60, whose pancreas isn't as efficient, blood sugar can easily spike, then quietly contribute to chronic inflammation, increased belly fat, and even metabolic issues. According to Harvard Medical School, raisins have a higher glycemic index, GI, than fresh grapes, ranging from 64 to 72. Just 30 grams of raisins, about a small handful, already pack over 23 grams of natural sugar. And when eaten alone without protein or fat, this sugar gets absorbed almost instantly, often leaving older adults tired, flushed, and dizzy after a snack. Evelyn, 75 from Arizona, had given up cookies and soda completely to manage her weight. But every morning she still added a spoonful of raisins to her cereal, thinking it was healthy and heart-friendly. After 3 months, her weight was still up, and her fasting blood sugar remained high. Her doctor asked detailed questions, then said something that shocked her. That very breakfast item, seemingly small, is exactly what's making your blood sugar so hard to control. Now, she still enjoys grapes, but fresh ones, individually, and only after a main meal with plenty of protein. The result? Stable health and no more mid-morning dizziness. The scariest part isn't always in the candy aisle. It's in those things that seem natural, yet pack more sugar than many desserts. If you've ever thought, I don't eat sweets, so why is my sugar still high? You might be caught out by these deceptively healthy foods like raisins. You don't need to banish raisins. Just eat them after main meals with protein or healthy fats, like eggs, beans, or nuts. Avoid eating them alone on an empty stomach. And if possible, swap them for a few fresh grapes. Much better. If this information resonates with your questions or worries, maybe give this video a thumbs up to save it, and consider subscribing so you don't miss out on more tips about eating habits that seem right, but could be quietly harming older adults' health daily. Because coming up, I'll share about a very popular summer fruit, sweet, refreshing, but one that can leave you drained and dizzy after just a few bites. A handful of raisins sounds small, but eaten the wrong way, it can make all your efforts to manage your health slip right through your fingers. With some sweets, you know to be cautious. But then there are fruits, cool, light, juicy, that we eat freely without a second thought. It's only when your heart races and you feel shaky after lunch that you realize you've had too much watermelon. Someone enjoys a cold slice of watermelon on a summer afternoon. Minutes later, they feel lightheaded, heart pounding, legs wobbly, as if drained by the heat. But in reality, it's not the sun. It's because their blood sugar just spiked, then crashed, all from that slice of watermelon. Watermelon is so familiar. Sweet, cool, watery, easy to eat. So many think it's harmless, even helps quench thirst and detoxify. But what few realize, watermelon is one fruit with a very high glycemic index, GI. What does that mean? It means the sugar in watermelon is absorbed into your blood extremely quickly, making blood sugar shoot up fast, which is especially risky for older adults with a weaker pancreas and slower insulin response. According to the Glycemic Index Foundation, watermelon's GI can be as high as 76, putting it in the high category, similar to French fries and white bread. And because watermelon has very little accompanying fiber or protein, it does almost nothing to slow down sugar absorption. Harold, 72, from Georgia, loved eating chilled watermelon every summer afternoon. He didn't eat sweets or drink sodas, but every day he'd have a plate of watermelon to cool off. After a few weeks, he often felt tired mid-afternoon. His hands trembled slightly, and he'd get dizzy standing up. At first, he blamed the weather or low blood pressure, but when his post-meal blood sugar was checked, it hit 180, even though he wasn't diabetic. His doctor advised, limit watermelon, eat it with protein-rich or fatty foods, and avoid it on an empty stomach or mid-afternoon. Watermelon isn't the main culprit. It's how we eat it, when, and our body's condition. Younger people eat it and just feel refreshed. Older adults eat it, and it can be a temporary blood sugar jolt. You don't need to avoid watermelon completely. Just eat less, at the right time, and not as a main snack on an empty stomach. And if you have ever eaten watermelon and felt a bit flushed or slightly dizzy afterwards, listen to your body. It's signaling you not because of the melon, but how you're having it. Some refreshing thing can leave you feeling off balance. Watermelon is one of them. Sweet, mild, but for older folks, sometimes it's a blood sugar trap set in summer. Watermelon can make you dizzy from its sweetness before you even realize. But there's another fruit, more fragrant, richer, often called the queen of summer. And if you're cutting down on sugar but still eat it daily, you might be sending yourself into a spiral of weight gain, high cholesterol, and metabolic issues. It's not spicy food. It's not unfamiliar dishes. Some bouts of bloating or digestive upset in older adults can start simply from a piece of ripe mango. Mango is loved for its sweet aroma, plentiful vitamin C, ease of eating, and for claims it cools the liver and aids regularity. But for those over 60, especially with a sensitive digestive system, ripe mango, particularly overripe, soft, intensely sweet mango, can be an unexpected troublemaker. Mangoes contain a lot of fructose, a natural sugar not everyone's body absorbs well, especially in older adults whose small intestines tend to slow down. When fructose isn't fully digested, it travels to the large intestine, ferments, producing weak and causing bloating, a dull ache, and fullness. This is a form of intolerance, and not an allergy, but more like can't process it well. According to the Cleveland Clinic, fructose malabsorption, meaning the body doesn't fully absorb fruit sugars, is common in older adults and those with a history of digestive issues. And mango is one of the fruits highest in fructose, surpassing even apples and pears when very ripe. Monica, 77, from California, adored ripe mango, especially in summer. Whenever her children or grandchildren sent some, she'd let the mangoes get very soft and fragrant before eating them. But after eating, her stomach would feel tight, uncomfortable, and she'd have to rest. She blamed her age or a weak stomach. It wasn't until her nutritionist asked carefully, "Do you eat high-sugar fruits on an empty stomach?" She then realized she often ate mango as dessert, after meals that included soup and rice, meaning already full, then adding more fermentable sugar. From then on, she was advised to eat moderately ripe mango, chopped small with unsweetened yogurt, and to absolutely avoid it on an empty stomach. Just one small change, and her stomach felt much lighter. It's not always sweet is good, nor is all fruit necessarily benign. No need to give up mango, just be a bit more mindful about how you eat it. Eat slower, less, and at the right time. Don't eat it when hungry, don't eat it when too full, and don't let mangoes get overripe and too sweet. The body after 60 is different, from digestion and absorption to how it reacts to once loved foods. And sometimes what makes you bloated, tired, or sleepless is that very piece of ripe mango you thought was a summer treat. Some things don't cause pain. They just quietly create a feeling of heaviness, lethargy, making your body lose that lightness it once had. Ripe mango, if you don't understand your body, can be one of them. You know, there are things in life we always believe are good until they're not good for us anymore. A seemingly healthy grapefruit can quietly make your heart flutter when taken with blood pressure pills. A ripe banana, sweet and familiar, can send your blood sugar soaring without any warning. Fruit isn't always so kind to us as we age. But your body doesn't lie. It speaks up with a sleepless night, an unexplained dull ache, or feeling wiped out after a supposedly clean meal. After 60, perhaps we don't need many new foods, just a new understanding of old favorites. Because living long isn't the hard part. Living aware, that's what's truly precious. If today you choose one less raisin or pause before that evening bowl of watermelon, that's not giving up. That's you giving your body a chance for a few more healthy seasons ahead. If you've always thought fruit is harmless, maybe today is the day to reconsider. And if you know someone who could use this info, perhaps share this video with them. Like a gentle heads up, subtle enough, but it might just change how they look after themselves. Thanks for watching. Wishing you always a settled stomach, restful sleep, and a long life. Long enough to tell your grandkids, "Grandpa, Grandma started feeling better the day I truly understood how to eat fruit wisely."